folks in our audience are investors. They're trying to think about their portfolio. They're trying to think families who are just trying to think about this. Right now, there is an expectation that there's going to be a V-shaped recovery. We were talking with Steve Leisman earlier and Michelle Girard, because we're going to be getting these job numbers later today, about where we will be 12 months out, given that right now the market is predicting 12 months out it's going to look a lot better.
Yes, Andrew,
are you predicting 12 months out?
What's the definition of V? I mean, you got to do it based upon, obviously, time. I can't conceive that V actually takes place unless your time horizon is multiple years. It's going to be a bromide U-shape, but it's going to take a while. Now, the markets can jump over it and say, well, it's going to happen at some point, so let's just let this period be bad news, and we'll just go to the place where it's going to be. The question is, how long is it going to take to get there? And what kind of continuing damage are you going to see from the damage that has already been created? I don't think that's an easy track, but of course, eventually, for sure, yes.
Right.
I mean,
so what do you think
how you
in
can
terms
be
of
an
how
investor.
long that track looks like?
How long? I mean, come on. Ask, your weather forecaster.
Well, let me ask you this then. There's the issue of guidance. There are companies that are providing guidance or trying to provide guidance. There's companies that are stopping providing guidance, at least temporarily. There's others. How do you even think about that in this environment?
Well, what I think is actually great is that a number of companies, quote, pulled their guidance. It kind of gave us the opportunity to say, you know what? Guidance is a bad business. We're out. We're not doing it anymore for either Expedia or for IAC. It has been, it is predicting the future in granular terms, which is what guidance has become. This whole concept of meet and beat and the whole industry that has grown up around it. But I mean, it started off like many things, made some sense. But as it's become institutionalized, it has become a ritual for bad ritual. Companies spend too much time massaging the process, getting the model right so that they can always beat, not miss expectations. And the markets are always reactionary on that wildly short-term dumbness of what happened in the next quarter. And even if guidance has gotten so institutionalized that you beat it, but then, of course, you have to give guidance beyond that for the future. And generally, what most companies do is try and massage it down so that they can beat it. The whole thing is nuts. And the idea that you've got people who should be otherwise productively occupied, actually doing some work, that are not running around, literally, but who are spending huge amounts of time playing this guidance game to no good, other than having analysts. I mean, yes, it helps analysts, but, analysts should, I would think, if I was interested in a company, I wouldn't be interested in the granularity of this or that metric. I'd be interested in what the long-term prospects are. That is presuming, of course, that I'm going to be a long-term investor. If I'm in and out, then I'm just playing another kind of game. So it should be ended. I would hope that this period would allow all these companies to say, be gone with you guidance. It's not a good game. Spend your time actually figuring out where you should invest your money, how you should run your company. And anybody who runs their company for a quarter is a bird brain. Nevertheless, everybody who's involved in guidance, everybody pays attention to it, puts time in on it. And anyway, I have gone on. It's wasteful. It should end. Everybody should. I mean, I'd love to lead a parade. I'm not that good a parade leader, but to have it as it, started, I don't know, 20 some odd years ago, probably something like that, 25. I'd love it as a practice to end for everybody. So there.
Barry, let me ask you this. I'm in violent agreement with you, but there are investors and analysts and others out there who say that guidance keeps companies accountable. What do you say to them?
That's absurd. I mean, it keeps companies accountable. It keeps companies doing dumbass work. What is account? Look, all companies say we run it for the long term, et cetera. And then you ask the question, what the hell are you doing spending time on beating a number that you put out either 3 months ago or 6 months ago or a year ago? What is the point in that? If that really tells an investor something, good luck to you. Look, I actually think one of our companies is thinking about, instead of guidance, not going to do, is thinking of monthly reporting. Just put our figures out every month. There are some issues about telling the competition things you might not want to tell them if you did that. But, that's healthy. In that discussion, one of my colleagues said, why don't we just put them out every day? Let it be totally transparent. We look at the figures. They can look at the figures. Make of them what they will. We're certainly not going to have an investor call every day to tell them about it. I mean, but by the way, I think actually that kind of transparency is healthy. I don't mean every day. I think that's silly. But every month kind of makes sense. This quarterly thing truly makes zero sense.